Hey, what is going on, guys? Payton here once again, of course, and welcome back to another edition of my Everton career on FIFA 13. It's my third and final season, and I'm feeling so productive as of late. I'm just pumping these videos out, and you guys have already noticed that there's been a FIFA video almost every day this week so far, and I just want to keep going, get these videos out, and then I can concentrate as well on my England series. I've decided I'm going to go ahead with that after the great feedback that I had in the previous video. You guys want to see that mini series, so I'm thinking now that's going to be the series that's going to take us up to FIFA 14 when that's released. So I'm not going to be doing another career mode with another team, because that was the original plan, was to go with someone like Barcelona or Real Madrid and maybe do just one season, and that would lead us up until the release of FIFA 14 obviously. So I'm going to be going with England. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be hard as well, because there is no transfer budget to bring in new players and try and rebuild the squad and make it the best it can possibly be. I've just got to work with what I've been given. I mean, there is a national pool where you can select all the English players, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be bringing in players like Zaha as well, swapping it around, especially if we have an international friendly. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very exciting, because I don't think I've never managed England on any football game, and that's mainly because I've always concentrated on managing clubs, obviously. So anyway, I'm going to be going ahead with that England mini-series. I'm going to be starting the editing very soon, so keep your eyes open for those videos in your sub boxes. So anyway, guys, let's move on. At the start of October, we had to go through a very tough challenge in Wigan Athletic. We was playing at Goodison Park in the BPL, and it was a fixture that I needed to win if I want to be making a challenge for that BPL trophy. And so we move on to our next fixture. It's in the Champions League this time around. We are flying high at the moment. We've won all 3 games so far. We're on our 4th game. We're playing Copenhagen again, but this time at home at Goodison Park. That was my start 11. We got the likes of Borman, pretty much the same sort of side that I've been playing throughout the start of this season. We got Thiago playing in that central role as well as Tarat. I did decide to give Fellaini a bit of a rest, because the last time out against Copenhagen, we had a great start to the Champions League. We beat them, we picked up those 3 points, but saying that, it was still a very strong attacking team. You still had the likes of Jelavic and Matri up front, and I have to say, the partnership between Jelavic and Matri, it's got potential to be so great. I mean, some of the games that I've been playing with Matri and Jelavic up front, the amount of creativity from both of them, they just work off each other, both workhorses. It's brilliant stuff, and it's just only a matter of time before they start scoring goals right, left and centre. But anyway, to this game, Tarat cut inside on the outside of the box, gave the ball to Jelavic, and he made it 1-0 to Everton in the 13th minute. Nice early goal, and do you see what I mean? Jelavic getting himself on that score sheet yet again. Do you guys remember my first season with Everton and how poor Jelavic? He never really got himself on the score sheet as much as he has been as of late. I mean, at the time, I was on the brink of selling him to another club. I didn't care how much he was going to go for. I just wanted to get rid of him at the time. But you know what? I'm so glad that I held on to him. And there's that partnership between Matri and Jelavic shining through. What a great goal. The ball hitting the post in the right place for it to bounce off and roll across the line. And the best thing about this match was that all my players were fully fit for the game, and I think that was the deciding factor of how well we was going to be performing. And 15 minutes before half time, the referee gave us a penalty. I kind of felt unfair, to be honest, for Copenhagen, but you know what, it's a penalty. I'll definitely take it. I gave this one to Matri, see if he could get his second goal of the game. He steps up and he smashes it right down the centre of that goal. 3-0 to Everton before the half-time whistle, and I was then gearing myself up for the second half, hoping for more of the same performance that I saw in the first half from my team. Maybe even get 3 more goals, and the final result would be 6-0. That would just be amazing. But in the second half, Fellaini took the ball just inside the box, crossed it in, and look at the space that Morales was in. He had time to take that ball down, and he rushed it, and he smashes it over the bar. But the full-time whistle went, and the final score was 3-0. I was unable to get that 6-0 result, but there we go. That's 3 points added, and you guys asked for it. Here is the squad report. I don't like to do one for every video. I like to leave it for maybe 3 or 4 videos. It's better, in my opinion, to see their progress within 4 months instead of seeing it for every month, because I don't think much will have changed there between a month's time. Whilst I was recording this, I've got to say, I'm really happy with some of the players' progress, especially the youngsters like Hallam Hope, Koke, and also Francisco Jr. They've made great progress, and the reason that I do start them is because they show that willingness. They're always there, ready to get on the ball, attack with the ball, pass it upfield. They're just all over the pitch, and they're eager to get into the first team. I mean, there are some players that don't get first team football, like Ross Barkley, and I'm going to be bringing him back into the squad, and Jordan Ayew as well. But that was the squad report. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that, and so we move on to our next fixture. One of Everton's biggest fixtures of the season. It's the Mersyside derby, Everton versus Liverpool, and this time we was playing at Anfield. It was going to be a tough fixture, but in past seasons it hasn't proved to be that much of a challenge against Liverpool, but they have strengthened their side over time. They've got Andy Carroll back from his loan from West Ham United. He's on the bench, and Luis Suarez is definitely their hitman that we needed to watch out for in this game. But here is my starting 11. We got the likes of Borman, Van Rijn, Heitinga, Jagielka, Baines, Fellaini, Feghouli, Morales. They were all there, all the top players, Tarat and Jelavic, and Alessandro Matri, because their partnership, it's been great, as I mentioned a bit earlier on in this video, so I was hoping they could continue their performance in this fixture against Liverpool. After just 20 minutes of the game gone, Henderson was through on goal after a perfectly timed pass from Suarez. He was one-on-one with Borman and slotted that one past him, making it 1-0 to Liverpool in the 17th minute. That's always going to be a heart sinker for all Everton fans, but there was still loads of time remaining of the game for Everton to get back into this one. But Liverpool, in the first half, they kept attacking. They wanted to grab another goal and just finish this one and grab those 3 points. But Everton are fighters, and they will keep breathing down your neck until they get what they want. And Matri did just that. He made it 1-1 in the 53rd minute. But Liverpool were just adamant that they wanted to win this war, this Mersyside derby against their biggest rivals, and Sturridge almost made it 2-1. And Liverpool, time and time again within this game, kept showing how dangerous that they can be. I always thought it was going to be Suarez that was going to be the target man in this game, but it was Daniel Sturridge at the end of the day that grabbed Liverpool the winner and those 3 points. The final score was 2-1. Such a heartbreaker for all Everton fans. I felt it as well, even though I'm not an Everton fan, but it's such a huge loss. We could have done with that win, but we're just going to have to move on to another important game against another big team that are second position at the moment, and that's Manchester United. There was my start 11. As you can see, Matri was left out of this game due to lack of fitness. Jordan Ayew comes in to replace him. Tarat starts in that cam position line just behind Jelavic and Jordan Ayew, and Ola John and Morales flanking them on both wings. And there was Manchester United starting 11. Very strong side after just looking at that starting 11, so I knew I was going to be in for a tricky game against United. Sir Alex went for the 4-4-1-1 formation. Welbeck starting up front with Van Persie lining just behind, and Wayne Rooney in that central mid position. But in this game, Jordan Ayew was running the United defence ragged, and he picked out Jelavic with a perfectly timed cross, and what a goal it was. Jelavic is on fire. He is totally unstoppable at the moment. Smalling, he just stood there. I don't think he was expecting Jelavic to come charging past him and grab himself a goal. De Gea will not be happy about that either, because Chris Smalling's positioning, it was spot on. He just didn't do anything about it. And I'm sure Sir Alex will be giving Chris Smalling the hairdryer treatment after that performance. But in the second half, straight after kickoff, Ola John swings in an early cross and picks out the head of Jordan Ayew. He was looking for a goal throughout the whole of the first half, and he got his wish in the second. Just like United do in real life, this United team on FIFA 13 sat back in the first half, but in the second half they woke up and Van Persie grabbed United a goal, but it just wasn't enough to see off the challenge of my Everton side. We beat them 2-1 and pick up the 3 points. So anyway, we move on to our next fixture in this video. After beating Manchester United 2-1 and picking up those 3 points, we lie in 5th position, but it's still very tight at the moment with the top 5. There was my start 11 to play against Swansea City, and once again they was going to prove to be a very difficult challenge, not only because some of my players were lacking fitness, because we was only a couple of days removed from that game against Manchester United, and Swansea didn't let me down either. Pablo Hernandez, the guy that's been on my shortlist now for 3 seasons, grabbed himself the opening goal of the game in the 26th minute, and what a great goal it was as well. It looked as though Ballman had it covered, but he could only save the first shot. Then the ball bounced off the crossbar and Pablo put it away. But Tarat, 10 or so minutes later, made it 1-1 in the 34th minute. And as always, once Tarat starts scoring, he can't stop himself. He made it 2-1 to Everton, just 2 minutes removed from his first goal of the game. In the second half, I wanted more of the same performance that I saw in the first half after this Everton side came from behind against Swansea. And Gignac, the guy that I signed for Marseille, made it 3-1 to Everton. That was the full-time score, picking up those all-important 3 points. And we move on to our next fixture in this video. It's match day 5 in the Champions League group stage, and we're playing against Juventus at Goodison Park. Who thought this would ever happen? Everton versus Juventus at Goodison Park. I gotta say as well, this Everton side have done absolute wonders in the Champions League so far this season. Some of you guys will probably see that I was kind of let off with the teams that I was drawn against in the group stage with this Everton side. And you know what? I've got to agree, because Copenhagen, as you've seen in previous videos, we've beat them twice. That was a walk in the park. Schalke, pretty easy game, even though we beat them 1 or 2-0. I mean, they didn't really put up much of a challenge like Juventus have. But I think if I was the manager of Juventus, I wouldn't be too happy with their performance in the Champions League. They haven't really picked up the results that they need to get through to the next round. I mean, they are working their ass off, and I can see them going through with us into the knockout stages of the Champions League. But to me, it seems as though this Juventus side only seem to care about the big games, when really they should be focusing on the little games if they want to be going through to the next round. The game did end 0-0, so we just walk away with a point from Goodison Park, but that's good enough for me, because all we've got to do now is chill out in the 6th game of the group stage, and we're through to the knockout stages. We move on to our next and last fixture of this video, guys. It's against Arsenal at the Emirates. November really was a busy time for my Everton side, because we played the likes of Liverpool in that Mersyside derby where we dropped points. We played Manchester United, picked up 3 points there. We played Juventus, as you've just seen, and then to finish up the month we was playing Arsenal at the Emirates, and I was hoping to pick up 3 more points here on this day. And Tarat came very close to scoring what would have been a masterpiece of a goal. All my Everton side had to do was keep persevering and keep attacking the Arsenal defence, and the goals would hopefully come. We've done it before, why can't we do it again? I was thinking at the time whilst playing this, maybe I should have started Hallamho, because he knows how to put a ball past the Arsenal goalkeeper, and I felt so sorry for Jelavic, because that was twice he was denied by the post. Anyway guys, that is the end of this video, unfortunately, but I do hope that you've all enjoyed. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook for all updates for this channel. Links can be found in the description below. I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.